Thanks for tuning back in for some truth. Some of y'all like some truth, don't you? Others get triggered, right? A little bit triggered. So where's everybody been? Where y'all been anyway? I guess before I jump into my bullshit, I gotta say that I really appreciate everyone who hit me up in the email and comments and texted me and shit like that, saying, yo dude, where you at? You still alive? What's going on? You drink yourself to death? You working over at McDonald's? What's going on with you? So, no, I have not drank myself to death yet, and I'm not working at McDonald's yet. Although, I don't know. I got a couple videos I'm gonna put out, probably here in the next day or so, right? So it's gonna be, one video is gonna be my last set of freight rates for being on that lease deal, and then the other one is about like hot spots in the United States for trucking jobs, because I didn't know it existed until I did a little bit of research. So if you're struggling with a job or whatever, right, you might be interested in that video. And then the rest on the rates, holy crap, man, I got a good sticking on that one, didn't I, right? We all kind of knew that, right? Everyone's gonna go, oh man, I told you you're gonna lose your ass on that shit, Dustin, what the fuck? All right, first of all, the first couple months or whatever I was there, I was averaging like 2,300, I don't remember, it's in that video, a week. So I wasn't losing my ass on that, because the dumb people that say shit in the comments like, oh, 2,300 a week ain't shit. For a company driver, that's good money. It's good money. It's 100,000 a year. Over that, if you're making that as a truck driver, you're doing a good fucking job. And it just so happens that this old boy right here, how long have I been in this industry? 35 years. Either mechanic, a little bit of office work, 15 years as a truck driver, and mechanic and loading and unloading and dock worker, and you know, I know a little bit about the trucking industry. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying I'm the best trucker. I'm the second best trucker on the road, because this guy Trucks is the best trucker. Although I might have to meet him up on Fuel Island and discuss that a little bit one of these days. Anyhow, so I didn't necessarily get my ass handed to me on that whole deal. It sucked, right? And when you watch the video, you're gonna be like, holy shit, as far as what I was making. I did, but I didn't, right? For the situation that I'm in, I didn't, because if you follow my channel, I made a video like a year and a half ago, I think, or something like that, to where I had said, something's going on, man. Like, I don't have a good feeling about this whole gig. I was like, I think we got too many trucks on the road. And my dumb ass in that video, maybe I'll throw a clip in here if I can find it real quick. If not, go back and watch Rough Market video. In that video, I'm sitting all comfy cozy in my living room with a little bit of rum in my glass, enjoying my weekend off, because I was getting home every weekend, right? And I was making, I think, 95,000, something like that, close to 100 when I was doing that melt. So, well, no, actually, to be honest on that, I was getting home every other weekend on that one. I was getting home every weekend on my dedicated, but on my dedicated, I was only making like 85 or something like that. So, to clarify on that a little bit. But I was sitting there all nice and comfy, and on my video, I even said, man, I feel like something's going on. You know, I've been in this business a while. I'm an old dog. I'm going to tell you guys this. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you got a job that you can handle and you're all right with it and everything like that, don't quit, because something's about to go on. What'd your fucking dumbass boy do? I fucking quit. Right? So it's just been a shit show from there on out. And I will just say it as if you don't follow my channel. I apologize to the people who follow my channel, because it's going to be a little bit of a repeat, and this will probably be a little bit of a long video, so go get comfy. But I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers just listen to the videos where you're driving your trucks. I do the same thing. I follow a ton of YouTube truckers and other shit, you know. You'd be amazed some of the weird shit. Britney Spears is making a comeback. Alright, see? I watch a lot of weird shit. She's still hot, too. But, that's only from an old man perspective, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? She is still pretty hot, right? Anyway, it's been a bit of a fucking ride, man. Because once I left MDT, you know, I was hauling that milk over there. I worked over there for like 4.5 years or whatever. Really, it was a good job. That's why I always recommend MDT. And I don't recommend companies. You know, really, I don't. I try not to. I got a few that I would tell you that are pretty decent. But MDT always did me straight. That doesn't mean that they do everybody, you know, the same way or whatever. And it don't matter, because I got some friends that applied over there last week and they ain't hiring. Which goes to show that we are in kind of a shit show here, friends. Because MDT has a goddamn truck driving school, right? Think about it. Think about it. Yeah, they got like a trucker mill going on there. They'll bring your ass over, train you, and ship you out in a truck. There's a reason for that, right? Well, that's all not happening. That's all closed down. They ain't hiring no drivers. A little scary, right? A little spooky when places like that are doing that shit. So, we are definitely in some rough times. I will tell you that. And I've been around for 900 years out here, I think. Or maybe it was 925 years. I'm not sure. 6 or 7 million, 100,000 miles, trillion, something like that. But in 2008, it started to take a dump, right? And by 2009, I was like making 25%, 20% less than what I was making before. And I was still doing the same job. You know, still out here doing the same job. So I called home because, you know, I used to have a wife. Imagine it, right? I had a wife for 25 years. A lot of people don't realize that. And my wife at the time said, bring her on home. Bring it on home, man. We'll figure something else out. So in 2009, I went home and I started a lawn care, landscaping, snow removal business. I did that for about 5 or 6 years, right? Which, you know, in hindsight, I probably ought to kept that company going. I had built it up. It was actually a pretty decent company. I had a lot of commercial contracts and yada, 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 you know, like I had built it up. I had several pickups and shit like that, you know, and all the equipment. Well, I wanted to go back to trucking, man. Believe it or not, right? I actually like this job. And I was tired of fucking mowing lawns and stuff and shoveling snow and plowing snow and doing landscaping and all that shit. Cutting trees. I had a tree service too, you know. So I was like, fuck this, man. I want to go back to driving truck. So I ran out all my contracts and away I went, you know, back to driving truck. This deal here we got going on, this truck recession deal here, a whole different animal, man. A whole different animal. This one's pretty bad, man. Like, I generally, when people, because if you read the news, you know, they're like, the news, they'll say like truck driver shortage. Two fucking news stories down, it'll be like, we got overcapacity of truck drivers. We're going into recession. 2 stories down, the economy's booming. We have the highest GPA in such and such years. We're running out of oil. Well, America's producing more oil than they've been producing. Am I right? Come on. Am I right? We even got some YouTubers out there, you know, mother truckers, you know, that got to do their news all day long, all right, to get them views. Because, see, I know that this channel is probably going to blow up because I'm so awesome and everything, and I'm probably going to have 300,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be making so much money. But you know what? When that happens, because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. When that happens, I'm still going to drive one of these trucks. No, if that really was to happen, though, I would just buy some trucks. And you can drive one for me. How about that? And you know what? I would actually fucking pay you for what you were worth. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine actually getting paid for what you were worth? And I would still be able to buy a boat and a Harley and a nice house and all that. And I wouldn't even have to fuck you over to do it. I could do it the honest way. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if a fucking truck company actually goddamn did that? Could you imagine it? I might be working for one now that does that, from what I've heard, but we'll get into that. So where was I before I got into that whole fucking rant? yeah, it's a shit show, man. And, you know, a lot of the reason that I haven't made a video, some of it's time. But I'll tell you, I just had a whole week off in a motel in between jobs. And I still didn't make a video. But I did get shit-faced drunk twice in that week. And god damn it, boy. I almost went to fucking jail one time, but we'll talk about that later. So, it's been because I've been depressed, man. That's really what it is, man. I've been depressed. It's not my personal life, you know. That's somewhat depressing, but I got a plan for that, right? And maybe I'll talk about that in a minute, or maybe I won't. I don't know. If you follow my shit, you know what my plan is, right? We're working now. We're going to play later. That's how I work. That's how I roll. But as this whole trucking stuff took a dump here, yeah, man, it made me depressed. It made me fucking worried. Made me anxious. And I feel bad. Like, I got a lot of emails and shit from people who are, you know, bumming out here. And some people got laid off, and the companies went bankrupt, and, you know, they didn't get their fucking escrows. They didn't get their fucking paychecks, you know. And I would say a majority, I don't know, but I would say a majority of truck drivers, considering that we have the one rare job that you can do cash advances. Think about that. Like, what other job, you know what I'm saying? They actually keep you that broke. I've never drawn a cash advance in my entire fucking 25 years. Nothing against people who do, you know what I mean? I don't mean it like that. But what a weird thing, huh? So, a lot of these drivers out here, right? Shit, what's that? 3,000, 4,000, whatever they're losing on their paychecks they're not going to get back from these bankrupt goddamn companies. Oh, man, that's got to hurt, you know? And on that note, real quick, these fuckers keep escrow for us. They ought to have an escrow account that the government keeps or somebody keeps or whatever, right? So that when their ass goes bankrupt, then that escrow account pays everybody's goddamn wages. Huh? Think about that one. If you're going to escrow me so that if I fuck up your truck or abandon it in Florida, then you can go get it, right? They should have some sort of backup plan like that. Instead of leaving the drivers out on the road with fucking shut off fuel cards and no paychecks, man. And some of these escrows are big. Like my Sunset one would be like 4,000 when I was working at Sunset. I think so. Something like that. So those Sunset guys got hit on their whole escrow, you know, 2,000 to 4,000, whatever that was, and then probably 1,500 to $2,000 or whatever on their last paycheck. That's a big fucking hit. And I honestly feel bad for people on that shit, man. Because, and also the owner-operators that are losing their ass, and a lot are about to lose their ass here in the next couple months, I would imagine. Because they've been hanging on and using their extra funds from COVID and shit like that to get by, and probably doing similar to me, making cutbacks. Now, a lot will survive because they're doing similar to me and making the cutbacks, right? And I say similar because I'm a company driver, basically. Let's face it, I'm not an owner-operator. So I don't want to compare myself with them because I don't have that kind of worry and that kind of money going on with the whole gig, right? But a lot will make it, a lot won't. And I feel bad for the people that won't make it, because that would suck, you know? I mean, you make it into being an owner-operator, you're used to all that, and now you got to stop doing that and go back to being a company driver. But even worse, right now there's hardly any company jobs available, and the ones that are available are the bottom of the barrel ones that are left, because everybody that, with their good truck driving jobs are decent ones, they're keeping them fucking things, you know what I mean, until this shit blows over. So you go from being an owner-operator to working for some bullshit company, you know? So I feel bad for people on that, for real. And I feel bad for people, you know, because, like I said, I was married 25 years, I raised 3 kids, you know? And a lot of that time I was in one of these trucks. And if you got a family, or, you know, you got parents that you're taking care of or whatever, right? God damn it. This has got to be a real bitch, because I'm not financially struggling. I'm still making money. I'm not making bank. Like, I'm not getting paid enough for what I work. I am now, but I wasn't getting paid enough for the work that I was doing. But the way I have everything set up, I'm still putting away cash. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see on that video, the piss amount of money I was making there towards the end, because the rates dropped down so much. But even with that pissy amount of money, yeah, I was fucking out on the road trucking for that shitty amount of money. tell you that. It's fucking gross. But I was still putting back like $3,000 a month after all my bills were paid. Because I gave up the apartment, because I'm living out here, because I made this sacrifice, when everyone thought I was fucking losing my mind, no, I was sitting there going like, I don't know about all this. You know, I gotta cut all my shit down. You know, like, get all this shit cut down. And the owner-operators who did the same thing, they'll make it, you know. So I guess the same with company drivers, you know, if you cut your shit back, you'll make it. And companies. You know, I guess trucking companies in general, really, if you want to throw them in there. All in all, it's going to be a good cleansing. It sucks, but it's kind of like when the forest burns down, it fucking comes back greener, right? It's a true thing. We all know it is. It's going to get rid of a lot of this capacity. It's going to weed out the weaker fuckers, you know. Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, some are going to be able to miss it that need to go because they're running such junk trucks and they're such shitty drivers, and you know what I'm talking about. Alright? The Volvo Mafia and those guys, right? They probably won't end up going out of business because they're living in their truck. Hell, they got 4 fucking guys living in one truck. You know? How can you go out of business doing that? Right? You just cut a hole in the floor and piss the shit right out the fucking hole. It's a true thing. Most of you know it is true. If you don't, look around on the internet. Watch the clown car pull up at the truck stop sometime and dink, 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 dink. You're like, how many guys are going to come out of that fucking truck? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't be in this truck with one fucking dude, man. I got kicked out of my driver fucking trainer's truck. I should do a video on that, huh? But it'll cleanse it, you know, and it'll change the capacity. I don't think it's going to boom right away or nothing. The rates are going back up a little bit right now. It'll take a minute. Some of this is normal. You know, trucking's boom bust. That's just how it is. But the way COVID, you know, made it go up so much, and then all those people flooded in to get the COVID money and they couldn't work, you know, because they were locked up and all that, over capacity, and then at the same time we're having peak volumes, or, you know, record volumes. And it was like the perfect storm to just fucking crash right at the end. And I wondered, you know, during COVID, I was watching that go down, and I was like, how is this going to end? It kind of reminded me of the 2008 housing bubble when everyone was out fucking jamming out buying houses, where me and my wife were smart at the time. All my friends, we had a brand new house. I'm going to tell this story real quick. We just got a brand new house, brand spanking new. They were putting the carpet and shit in it, right? And we just moved into there, and we lived there about a year. You know, all my friends were doing well. We were basically a bunch of poor fuckers that went out and got careers and made money, and, you know, look at us, we're gonna buy all this shit. You know, we were all doing well, young people. And I just remember one day we were sitting out there grilling and chilling, drinking a couple beers on the deck, and I looked at my wife at the time, and I was like, what do you think about all this shit? It's funny because at that point gas went up to like $2.25 a gallon, which now sounds like a deal, but fuck, it was like $1.10 or something, you know, before that, or $1.45 or something. So that was climbing, and the mortgage price, you know, just all that shit that happened. And I was like, what do you think about all this? Like, you think the bottom's gonna fall out? And she was like, I think it is. And my ex-wife's pretty smart, you know, she's a career woman. And I threw it out to her. I was like, my mom had some acreage up north where she had a cabin, and my mom wanted to move up there and live there until she passed on, right? But she couldn't really be up there by herself. We weren't going to move way the fuck out into the forest, you know. We were working city jobs. We both had good careers. I was managing a truck shop. She was managing, actually, she was a medical biller at the time, I believe. We had great jobs and shit, you know. It's like the American dream. New cars, everything. And we decided, you know what? Let's get out of this, because what would have happened is we would have owed more than what that fucking place would have been worth. It did happen, didn't it? And I was looking at that. I was like, man, if these housing prices fucking drop out because we didn't get a very good deal on that house, and we're gonna end up ass over apple cart on this deal. So one day I told her, I said, what do you think about buying a trailer and putting it up on my mom's property? And she was like, a trailer? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, a double wide? I'm like, no, a trailer. She's like, oh, fuck, no, we ain't living in no fucking trailer. And she grew up in a trailer. I grew up in a trailer. It's not that. But we had 3 kids at a time. She had a pretty good point, you know. We need more room than that. And I was just being too cheap, you know. So we went and started looking around, and we were looking at these double wides. We found like this 4-bedroom fucking 2-bath double wide for $25,000 set up because it was repo. It was in a drug raid, and they repoed it, kicked the doors in and all kinds of shit. But it was pretty new. So I was like, we buy this fucker. It's got plenty of room. I'll go up there, cut all the trees, put in the drain field, and, you know, do all that shit, build the garage and everything. And we have this up there and have it paid off. And we thought about it for about a month. And next thing you know, we're fucking cutting trees, pulling permits, and getting the fuck on down the road. And we went up there. We lived up there about 18 years. And I would say about 15 of those years that house was paid off. And, you know, I will say on this, by the time we got that house all set up and put it in there, we had $140,000 into it, right? 2-stall garage, 4-bedroom, 2-bath on the river. When we got divorced, the house was worth $260,000. But here's my point of that. When we were sitting around with our friends, right, we're telling them, hey, here's what we're going to do, man. We're going to buy a double-wide trailer, right? And she's going to be the queen of my double-wide trailer. And we're going to move out to the forest. And my friends are going, what? Have you guys lost your fucking mind? We're like, yeah, we have. Well, they were all like, ew, you know, talking behind our backs, like, oh, man, they're moving into a trailer house in the woods, wood stove and everything, you know what I'm saying? The real deal. And it wasn't a couple years after that, almost every one of my friends, foreclosed, houses gone, which caused divorces and a fucking shit show. And I don't mean that like I wish that on them, but it was pretty annoying when they were judging us. I even sold off my pickup and bought one that had like 180,000 miles on it. Put a tranny in it, fucking rocked that bitch for like 6 years. It was all rusty and shit. That's how we made it through that fucking recession. We were spending money during the recession. We were over at Home Depot dropping cash, remodeling the fucking house when everybody else was broke. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant and cocky on it. I'm just saying that's how you do it, even if you're running a trucking company or whatever you're doing. Man, when you see that shit coming, man, you tighten up. Preferably don't overextend yourself like I did recently. And you just rock it. Now, I don't fucking remember what I was saying before that because I got off on that whole story, but you know you love it. You mind if I smoke? Because I don't fucking mind. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. Real cigarettes, man. Real ones. These ones cause lung cancer and shit. And laboratory rats. It's a good thing I'm not a laboratory rat. So where was I on that whole deal? Yeah, man, I feel bad about it. I just feel bad for people, man. I do. I mean, I'm struggling a little bit. Like I said, I've been depressed. Off and on drinking heavy. Shit like that. But I've been working, you know. And I've been getting to my goal. If you follow my video, like I said, the videos, this is a repeat. But at the apartment, what I said. So what happened is, you know, I was making like 95, 100 grand, whatever a year. So I bought my daughter a brand new car for graduation. No big deal. I'm making a fucking ton of money. Bought myself a nice Harley. No big deal. I'm making a ton of money. Bought myself a nice Silverado. No big deal. Almost bought a boat and an RV. God damn glad I didn't do that. And then shit started to take a dump, right? So I got to kind of tighten up a little bit. Now, could I stay at the apartment or buy a house or whatever, right? I can still afford that. People get confused. They're like, oh, Truck of Trash is so fucking broke, he's got to live out in his truck. Really? Come on. Get with what I'm saying when I say shit on here. Pay attention before you start typing your fucking Cheetos fingers into the comments. Not that broke. I could afford one, which I will hopefully have one here someplace to live. I think I'm gonna buy a trailer in a trailer park. It's probably what's gonna be happening. But some dwelling would be nice here soon. I have become very used to living out here on the road. I've been out here 7 months now. But the whole name of the game is I've been banking money and I've been paying shit off because I'm not going to be a slave to this whole deal next time it happens. I fucked up. I'll admit it, I fucked up. I was enjoying myself, going on vacation, taking time off work, buying shit, having women. Women are expensive. You know they are. And it was fun. I'd do it again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Some of the shit I wouldn't. But I thought the party was never going to end. But it fucking started to shut down. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh, damn it. Now I got to go out and fix this shit. Son of a bitch, you know? Well, here I am, fixing it. And in X amount of time, I don't know what that will be because I don't know what the fuck the market and everything's going to do. I'll be fucking chilling again. I'm not going to rock it like I did last time. I'm going to be a little bit more miser on shit. Plus, I'm almost 50 years old. It's time to start slowing her down and getting ready, you know? That lung cancer should be kicking in pretty quick. So, you know, that's how I fucked up on that whole deal. And, you know, like I said, I could stay in that whole situation and still make it, but I just wanted to get all this behind me so I never fuck up like this again. And that way I can go back to being home every weekend. Because right now, you know, I'm going to say more about it in that video about the truck driving jobs, but right now, there's jobs around up there, right, where you don't make all that much money, but you go out on a Monday, you're home on like Friday afternoon, right? So, yeah, you get to go out trucking for the week, but you still got your weekends off. You can go make your appointments. You can hang out with your friends. I could have an actual girlfriend. Imagine that, huh? If I wanted one. And live like kind of a normal life, right? I actually want one of those again. Because a lot of misconceptions about me is that I'm like this old dog trucker that just stays out on the road for months and all this bullshit. No, man, that's so wrong. I am a weekend home trucker. I've always been a weekend home trucker. I wanted to go home and see my wife and kids and shit. And my dog, man. And shit like that, you know. Hang out with my friends. I didn't want to be out here trucking. I go out 5 days, fucking come back. And then I started going into 2 weeks out because I was divorced. So I might as well stay out and make more money. Now here I am. So, now you know the backstory on that whole deal, right? Like I said, it's going to be kind of a long video just to catch shit up for the people who I appreciate follow my bullshit. And then I'm going to have those other videos coming out that may be a little more interesting as far as learning some shit along with me, you know. Because I'm always learning, even though I know almost everything. Just ask me, I'll tell you. But what happened here is, you know, I took that. So basically, you know, after I quit MDT, I guess that's where I was at. I've been job hopping. You know, I catch a lot of shit in the comments and emails and shit like, you're a fucking job hopper. First of all, that's trucking, man. Look at the turnover rate. Look at this shit. Just pay attention attention. That's kind of trucking a little bit. We job hop. Why wouldn't you, man? If you're over here working, this guy's paying you, let's just say $80,000 a year, right? And this other guy over here is paying $90,000 a year. Why wouldn't you go over there? I mean, unless, you know, there's like the truck and then the way they treat you and shit like that, you'd have to think about. But I mean, when I was working at Sunset, I was legit making 70 cents a mile, 3,000 miles a week. I'm making 59 cents a mile right now, which is kind of normal because everybody did a bunch of cutbacks on the mileage. But I'm still doing all right, you know. Still making a couple grand a week. And yeah, I've always been a home every weekend guy, so that's my goal in the end, is to get all that shit paid down and come home every weekend. I'm still gonna truck, but not like this. This is just a sacrifice to get it over with. I don't want to sit and pay payments on all this shit for the next fucking 8 years, you know. I'd rather just come out here, hit it hard, which the timing sucked, you know, with this, and be done with it. But so after I left MDT, yeah, I bounced a bunch of different jobs, right? And it wasn't like I was leaving because the truck wasn't that great. I mean, if you follow my shit, when I was working for Sunset, they gave me a dog shit piece of crap. 680,000 miles, dog hair all over it, holes drilled, alien, or super glue all over, which makes me think real quick before I forget. So I'm working kind of on a deal with these guys here Plus, you know, I just like to say this shit because I like to help people. Alien tape, my friends. They sell it at Love's now and some of the TAs. You can fucking stick all kinds of shit with this, man. So you can get rid of the Velcro, the sticky Velcro shit, which did work great for years. And sometimes the Velcro is good for certain things. You can definitely stop super gluing shit to the trucks and drilling holes in the trucks like they're fucking yours. And then the next driver gets it and it's got holes all drilled and super glue everywhere because you're an asshole for doing that. But you are. I know I'm going to offend people, but it's true. You can just use alien tape. That shit there, you can put that on a window, dashboard, whatever, right? It'll stick like a fucker, man. I mean, like, I stuck my CB in that Mac with it. I had to use a pry bar to get my CB out. Thought I was going to break the CB. I was like, whoa, maybe a little less alien tape next time there, bro. But when you peel the shit off, no sticky residue or nothing. And as of right now, I'm not sponsored by alien tape. I'm working on that, though. And, I'm just saying it to help people out so they don't end up with fucking ruining everybody's trucks. Even though, like, the people who do that, they're still just gonna do it. They ain't gonna listen to me. They're gonna still just super glue. I'm gonna super glue My Little Pony over here on the side, and then the next guy can have a fucking My Little Pony on there. Pretty much how it rolls. But when I was at Sunset, that truck was all fucked up like that, right? I cleaned it up. I got it comfortable, and I rocked with it because I was making money, you know? I ended up leaving Sunset because they treat you very badly. Like, I've been treated very badly. I'm used to that, you know, this trucking. But they were very bad, man. So I was like, fuck you guys, man. You're like way assholes and shit. You ain't even worth the money. They ended up going bankrupt a couple months later, so that worked out good. Oh, the other ones in between, you know, the salary one, he lied about the salary, of course. I did have a brand new truck there. The one before this one, whatever, I had that brand new 2024. They were scamming on that whole fucking deal because it was day pay, but then they were wrenching out your fucking hours to like 14 hours a day, and you're doing day cab work in a sleeper. And you'll see that when I do this next rate video. I'll bring it up in that video, but they had actually financially a smart idea for themselves because the short hauls pay better. Those are the ones we're getting over $3 a mile for, which you'll see in that rate video. So what they were doing is short haul, and they were using us like that, and then they didn't have to worry about getting if you're a day cab, you got to get the day cab back to the domicile at the end of the night so dude can go home, right? They have to worry about that with us. We can run out hours right at the shipper and receiver and just sleep right in our sleepers or sleep on the side of the fucking road or whatever, right? And they keep them trucks rolling. Now they're making money, right? But I wasn't, because I'm working 14 hours a day for like $300 fucking a day. Comes out to like $20 an hour. And dropping and hooking 9 times a day, and it's fucking stupid. And those guys were assholes, which was fucked because I worked for them like 7 or 8 years ago. I thought they were cool then. But they got money and they got arrogant and they turned into dicks. That's kind of a whole another fucking story. I don't even know if I told that, but they wouldn't even let me bring the truck back. I was trying to get a hold of them. I'd wait for my daughter to get out of work so I could run the truck back up because it was 2 hours away from where I was parking it. They wouldn't answer my messages or nothing. Because I did go off on them and tell them that they were fucking assholes, you know, and more. But I was going to bring the truck back, and then they just showed up down there, and I got a call from the fucking storage unit wanting to know if they could let them in to get it. I said, fuck yeah, let them in. I would have fucking brought it back. You could have texted me, I'd have gave you the gate code, you dumb fucks. They're assholes. You know, they're safety fucking dork. Drove truck for like a year, you know that type. But he knows everything about trucking. But then the safety guys and the office guys, they start to hate truck drivers, which, you know, I can kind of see because some of us are assholes. I get that. But, dude, that's your job to manage truck drivers. Deal with it, bro. Like, the people at McDonald's don't fucking hate you. They're still like, thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Right? You know what I'm saying? They're not like, throw the food at you and be like, take your fucking food, bitch. Get the hell out of here. That's how they act. Like, they knew some shit. I'm like, fuck you guys. Yeah. The other one, I was running to California, right? And then I'd come back, and then you have to do a 34 on the way back, right? So, well, you don't have to. I guess you could do recaps, but generally, if Michigan to California, you do a 34 on the way back. So you're about a day and a half away from Michigan when you do your 34. I was coming in, you know, drive a day and a half, come in, and then they'd have me do another 34. I was like, how the fuck am I making money doing this? I'd have like one good check, one shitty check, one good check, one shitty check. So I kept telling them, yo, man, I need to come back, grab another load, and go again. I'm willing to stay out for like a month. Hello, you know, let's make some money here. Even the owner lady was like, I don't know what to do about it. And I was like, all right, if you own the place and you don't know what to do about it, then fuck it, I'm out of here, man. I go find somebody who appreciates a driver that wants to stay out and make money and actually drive the truck and not sit in the truck stop all day. You know, shit like that. So, is it job hopping? I don't know, because I could still be working at like one of those companies for $75,000 a year instead of these companies like this one, and shit, even the last one I would have made 90, you know. So is it job hopping, or is it just making your future better? To each their own, you know, depends. I got friends that are on certain runs, like they run certain lanes, or they're on dedicateds, right? And they like that lane, or they like that dedicated, and I personally don't think they make shit for money for the time that they're out. But they don't want to fuck around with all the other stuff that I'm doing. Like tomorrow I'm delivering in Buffalo, New York. If you ever been there, there's goddamn low bridges everywhere, and it's a fucker to snake your way in there. It's not the end of the world, but it's not like going to a Walmart DC or something. You gotta work it a little bit. Shit like that. And the last place I was doing a bunch of multiple stops and shit like that. They don't want to do all that, and I get it. You know, I don't judge people for it, man. It's like, if that works for you and that's enough money and you're all right with it, fucking rock on. You know, make it happen. But myself, I only go for so far before I'm like, fuck this. So that's pretty much what happened with the last place. You know, I knew when I was working at that last place, I knew from the moment I thought about going there that I would not stay there, because I knew about that company. And then once I went there and actually saw the place, I was like, oh my god, like, this place is fucked. But then they gave me that Max. Stay away from the fucking Max. I mean, look at this. It's hard to tell in the video, but look at all this fucking room I got in this Cascadia, man. This one's kind of cool. It's got a shelf in the back instead of a bed. But it's a manual, man. Ooh, that was funny for the first... I ain't drove a manual in a couple of years. You guys would have been laughing there for the first, I don't know, a couple hours. There's a little bit of grinding going on. But we got it down packed again. My memory came back, and I will tell you that I like automatics. And I was one of those guys that was like, fuck that, I ain't never driving one of them fucking automatics. I'll quit. Yep, I was that guy. Now I'm like, damn, man, I wish I had automatic, because that's a pain in the ass shifting this thing all the time, and then I can't eat my sandwiches and shit. And it's just a pain in the ass shifting. I forgot, you know, because I always came in with manual, so I never knew the difference, right? And then after you go to automatics, I understand the first version of automatics sucked, but they got them pretty kind of down packed. But I would still take an automatic if I had the choice. But there is a lot with these. You got the clutch, so you're not banging docks, you're not banging kingpins, it's not lurching all over the place. You got that control. You got gear control on slippery roads. And, you know, on these Freightliner automatics sometimes, man, you're like in traffic and you go to take off, and it's like, come on, fucker, go, bitch, go. And you got the fucker to the floor, and it's just like, and then the other times you go to take off and it takes right off. If you drove a Freightliner, I don't remember if the Kenworths are like that too, but I know the Freightliners are. With this, you don't gotta worry about that. You pop the clutch and fucking hammer it, and she's gone. You know, like, there is benefits, but overall, I ain't really liking that whole shifting shit a whole lot. It's not really for me anymore. I grew out of it. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so with the last place, So with the last place there, as I said, I knew I wasn't going to stay there. That Mac, I mean, the only thing I said, the Macs are so cramped up. They got like a shelf that hits you and a step right here, and you can't even fucking move in them. And even in the driver's seat, the seat don't go back very far. You're all up like this, and the fucking windows are low. You bang your head coming in. Everything's in reverse in there. Like, your wipers on normal vehicles, you turn forward, right? No, Mac goes backwards. Even the sun visors, you know, you push the sun visor down like this. No, Max come back this way. Just all kinds of shit like that. It was like Mac just thought, let's just do the opposite of every other truck manufacturer, and then we'll be cool. Nah, you're not cool, dude. Mac's a rattle trap fucking junk. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a Volvo all day long, which is pretty much supposedly the same thing people are saying, but no, I've had Volvos. They're not as bad as Mac. Macs are fucking garbage. Take my word for it. So I was happy to get out of that truck. Now I was staying, well, I wasn't leaving there just because of the truck, you know. I cleaned that truck up. I actually had it pretty nice for what it was. I was alright with it. I was living with it, right? I was super happy to get back on this one though, man. It's the fucking bed and everything is just so much better. I can do squats in the morning and shit like that. Move around a little bit. That fucking Mac. Ugh. But that dude wouldn't fix nothing on that truck, man. I mean, just nothing. I'm not even going to all of it, but like a couple things that I got backed into, if you watch my video, and I broke my mud flat bracket. Well, I don't like running around with a goddamn mud flat bracket missing. I got dash lights on. I got ball tires on the trailer. That mud flat bracket makes the DOT eyes go ding, ding, ding. You know what I mean? And then they pull me in, and then I get hit for all the other shit. It's like drinking and driving, man. When you're drinking and driving, be cool, bro. Don't be doing burnouts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it all fucking cool. Like, I mean, I don't drink and drive, but I knew people that do back in the day. Anyway, the flap was broke. I was like, when you get a new flap, that ain't no big deal. Those things are like fucking $25 or something. You know, for the whole bracket and flap and everything. Oh, blah, blah, blah. We gotta do this though. So I feel like I'm back to the yard. I'm like, need a new fucking flap. No, we don't have one. I was like, oh yeah, watch this. Jumped in my pickup, ran over to the fucking parts place, hooked me up with 2 flaps. Fucking came back, look, you owe me the money for this. It was $58 for both sides with the bracket. I pull up there, the mechanic's like, oh yeah, I got this other stuff I gotta do. So I just get all my impacts and shit, and I just start changing them motherfuckers, you know? It's bullshit, right? Fucking bullshit. You're working on someone else's truck. And I already fixed a bunch of shit on that. I fixed the bunk heater, adjusted the 5th wheel. You guys see me tear the whole dash apart to get that nasty fucking blower cleaned out. I fixed the wiring to the light. There's other shit. It just went on and on with that thing. I had it fixed up pretty good, really. But the owners that came out and saw me over there, I had my pickups there using it as a workbench, you know, putting them all together, and they went in and they were like, you don't have to do that. And they got the mechanic, so he came out and helped, because I say helped because I kept going, because I wanted to get the fuck out of there, man. I don't want to stay here fucking around with this bullshit. And I don't mind working on shit a little bit if you're cool about it, you know what I mean? So the dude wouldn't fix nothing on the truck, but he kept lying, saying he was gonna, and that's even worse than just saying I'm not gonna do it. So I'm rocking along, right? Money's going, rates are going down, my checks are going down, it's all building up, right? And I'm thinking, man, I gotta bounce out of here pretty quick, and I'm gonna get violations, because every time I had dash lights and stuff on. I think other than that, the truck was legal. But every time I pick up a trailer, either needed like a federal annual, or I had ball tires, or bad brakes on it. They're always fucking illegal. Like, literally 9 out of 10 trailers, and we did quite a few dropping hooks, were fucking illegal. So every time you go by a scale, you're going, fuck, man, I hope I don't get hit in here. You know, that shit stays on there for 3 years, man. And then it makes me look like a dink. And I only got the violations from the truck recovery. Other than that, I had like fucking 14 years with no violations. But I was still skirting it, because for a while there I was making like $2,300 a week or whatever, and I'm like, it's worth the risk, you know? Oh, because also there was this whole, you know, I'm not huge with the 1099, but I'll be honest, I'm 1099 right now. I got a video on that. You lose a little bit of money on there, but in that particular situation at the last job, the way that the pay was on that, because you were lease independent, or whatever you want to say, and you paid for the fuel and stuff, you could write all that fuel and shit off, so you would do better there on taxes than you would as a W-2 driver. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here yet on this 1099, but I'll figure it out. So I was basically not paying that much in taxes, you know, so that was kind of a huge thing. And so I'm just like, all right, I'll ride this fucker out, you know, we'll get her done. I kind of knew I was quitting. I was already looking around. He wouldn't change the drive tires, and they were just barely legal. And for those of you who don't know, you know, you get like 300,000 miles out of a set of drive tires. I used to be a fleet manager. I know what I'm talking about. They paid me to do that. And if you don't, you're getting fucking cheap, shitty drive tires or buying recaps. So if you get a good set, you hear my point on that? If you got 300,000 miles out of that set of drive tires, you didn't make enough money to buy a new set, you motherfucking cheap cunt. You know what I'm saying? So it snowed the first time in Michigan. I'm coming up 69. This bitch is just all over the place, man. And dude, I run the mountains, tire chains, yada yada yada, right? I'm familiar with driving in the snow, but that thing was fucking ridiculous. So it's like, all right, here's what happens now. I crashed this truck, all right? And what does it say on a lot of the job applications or the ads? No preventable accidents in the last 3 years, or no preventable in the last 5 years. Now I'm gonna get one of them. For what? To drive this bullshit truck at this bullshit company because you won't put tires on it. So I said, later on, bitch. When I get back, I'm out of here, man. You won't fix your shit. So there ain't no jobs around Grand Rapids right now, man. The ones that are around there, like, go to fucking Illinois or whatever and get a truck, or Ohio or Wisconsin, and then I got a domicile out of there, and it's all that bullshit. I've never had to, like, go places and get a truck, but I was like, all right, I guess I gotta do that. I'm freaking out. I'm going, fuck, man. What the fuck do I do? I'm almost 50 and trucking's taking a dump. Well, that's gonna be the next video. There's fucking hot spots, right? So I figured this out. I'm gonna explain it more in it'll be the next video or the video after that. I'm not sure. It'll be about like trucking hotspots or whatever, and I'll explain that more. But anyway, so what ended up happening is I figured all that out. I found this gig is like $100 grand a year because they're all over the place out in those hotspots, and they're legit. You know, you read the reviews and shit, they're legit. Like I said, I'll explain it later. It'd be too long in this video. But so I was going to Iowa because that's where I picked. And this was a Tuesday when I got back and parked the truck. And my plan was to take that time over the weekend and, you know, the rest of that week, get everything in my pickup that I needed. And, you know, just basically got most of that in the rig already. Just grab like my personal clothes, and I wasn't even going to take my motorcycle or nothing because it's winter time. And I had all set up with a lady to pay like $2,500 relocation and motels and yada yada. I'll explain all that later, like I said. But the plan was hang out, say my goodbyes, party with some friends and shit. And I was leaving Monday to go out to Iowa, and I was gonna live out there because it's part of the deal. So that's what I was doing, and I wasn't all that keen on it. But anyhow, in the midst of that, I get this text message that says, "Hey man, how you been? Blah blah blah. I got a newer truck if you're interested." And I'm going, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I don't even know who the fuck this is. So I messaged back. So here's the deal. I messaged back. Yeah, I drink them just one right after another. I do too. I'm gonna be like a fucking science experiment when I die, because I've been doing this since I was in my 20s. They say that these fuckers kill you. Well, I'm almost 50. I'm in pretty good fucking shape. And since my mid-20s, I've been drinking 2 or 3 of these a day. It did fuck my teeth up, though. But, I get a hold of the dude, and what had happened is me and this fella here that owns this truck had talked about, oh man, almost a year ago. And I liked everything he had going on. I liked his whole setup, his company. I liked him, all that shit, right? But when I went over there, he had like a 2017. And it was like the newest truck he had. And you know, I'm a picky cunt, you know. And he keeps his truck in good shape. His truck's in good shape, but they were older, and I was still high up on my horse, you know. And I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna go somewhere else. So I went to like Sunset or whatever, and some other places, and went about my business. Well, he was like, I got this truck here. And I was like, all right, well, I was actually 45 minutes away. I was like, let me park and get my pickup. Where's it at? And he told me where it was at. So I'm going to roll over there and take a look at it real quick. I come rolling in, you know, it's a signed trailer here. I know that has benefits. Dropping hook has huge benefits. You don't got to wait to get loaded and unloaded, and you can keep rolling and all that stuff. But in a lot of ways, I don't like dropping hook because I'm always getting the bullshit some other driver left. You know, bald tires and lights out and pallets still in the trailer and they don't sweep them and, you know, all that shit. So I kind of like assigned trailers because this is my trailer. If it needs something, I get it fixed. It's all good shape. I get it washed out, you know, on and on. I just keep it up myself. I don't get there and get a surprise that it's all fucked up. Because every company I've worked at, man, you're always picking up fucked up trailers. Because you got to face it, a lot of the truck drivers out here are not good at what they do, and they shouldn't even be truck drivers, 100%. It's true. But we got a lot of them out here. Just sit in a truck stop and watch. Because they're truck drivers, man. We got to just get anybody and everybody. We should let 18-year-olds drive them. All over the country. It's a good idea. Let's do that. I know when I was 18, fuck, I couldn't even keep my wheels from spinning on my car, man. It's so immature. But anyway, so I got a signed truck and trailer. So as soon as I come rolling in, I see this is a 2022 Freightliner Cascadia. I come rolling in, I see it. The trailer's a 22. I go, oh, yeah. And I always liked this dude. So I jump up in here. At the time, the outside was filthy. Like, I got it washed. It looks real nice now. Myself, I want to polish the wheels. You know how I am. Doesn't necessarily have to happen, but it would be perfect then. It's a very nice truck. No body damage. No nothing. I popped my head up in here. It's clean. It's got the brown interior, whatever, and shit in it. I mean, obviously, I went through and cleaned it again just because I'm a dink. You know, now it looks almost brand new. But I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I looked the engine and shit over and the brakes and all that. I was texting him back and I was like, done deal, dude. Let's do it. And he's like, all right, swing by the house. So I went by his house, met up with him, talked to him, got the truck all around. Here we are. It's my first week out with him. He doesn't bother you in the sense that he does not want you to bother him. He was very honest. He's like, I just want to own a trucking company and be a dispatcher for the trucking company, right? And I want to hire people like you that know what the hell you're doing. And I want to give you the load and you just go and do it, right? And then I go live my life and I buy my boat and I get my lake house and all this shit because I own a trucking company. And you don't fuck with me over a bunch of stupid shit. And I was like, that's cool because I don't like it when dispatchers fucking ask me stupid shit all the time either. So we don't talk. Like, he just sends me my loads and then I just send him back a copy of the, you know, proof of delivery. That's all we ever do. Every now and then we talk about something like this run here was a little tight. He had to call me and make sure I was going to make it. And I assured him that I am a real truck driver and I know how to take care of the logbook, and I made it 100%. It was close, but I made it. So I like that whole aspect. I mean, right to the point where he don't even want authorization for repairs. That one I've never had before because I need new batteries. Now, he wouldn't have known that because the driver never told him before that, so it's not his fault. But the shit cuts out after about 8 hours or whatever, so in the middle of the night, you lose your fucking heat and all that. So it just needs new batteries. He's like, oh yeah, just stop whenever you get a chance to get new batteries. I was like, what do you think about these drive tires, man? You think I can get a new set of drive tires? I mean, they're still legal and all that, but he's like, yeah, just stop and get it. Let me know what you need for the money. Like, really cool. Other than that, I don't need nothing. It's a tight truck. They make the cigarettes go out nowadays, you know, because people are too irresponsible to smoke to fall asleep. A cigarette burn or some shit. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. Kind of like my chainsaw is always said right on there. Do not stop chain with hand. No fucking shit. I just cut out a tree with this fucker. That'd be a good idea. And that is why we got so many stupid people in this world. You know, the ones who like miss their exit and slam on the brakes in the middle of the road. Like, oh, there's my exit. See, back in the day, those people would have got ate by a fucking tiger or something, or killed by a mean fucker like me, and they wouldn't be around. We wouldn't have that problem. But I'm not allowed to kill anybody anymore. they took all that out of it, and we don't have any tigers or anything anymore. So we basically just kind of give the dumb people, you know, EBT cards and all kinds of benefits and let them be dumb. It's a true thing, you know it is. Strong survive, man, the weak die. And that's what we're doing in trucking right now. And I hope that you are doing well where you are at. If you are not, I hope you're at least surviving. And I will tell you that I don't know everything, and I get that. And I know I'm just kind of a douchey YouTuber truck asshole. But, my friends, I am an old fella. I am, face it. I just got out of the shower and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I should work out, but fuck that. That'd take too much work. I used to. It used to be kind of ripped. But I don't give a fuck no more. I'm almost 50. So my friends, this will get better. It will, trust me. I don't know. It might take a whole year for it, but I don't think so. I think by second quarter next year, things will be panned out pretty good. Is it going to boom again, you know? Are they going to be 70 cents a mile and $5,000 sign-on bonuses and all that again? Certain companies will, you know. I say, if you can do it, if you're all right with it, because I'm a prick, you know, you guys notice this? Private fleets, man. Like Walmart, Sherman-Williams, you know, type shit. That seems to be where it's at. I just ain't really Walmart material yet. They was going to hire me a few months ago, if you guys remember. But I just ain't, I don't know, man. I still got a lot of old school trucker in me. I follow all the rules and regulations and stuff, but I don't need all that HR bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me? That's another thing I like about this. Ain't no camera. My logbook is on my phone right there. Motive. You know, so you just turn that motherfucker off. You can adjust all the shit on there. You can, like, change your drive time and stuff. Now, I don't do that. I really don't. And I've told you guys several times why I don't do that. I will PC a little bit, don't get me wrong. But I keep my PCs pretty legal, man. At least arguably legal. I've told you, because I had a couple friends that went to fucking prison, man. Prison for a couple of years in these trucks. And that's why I don't do that, because I know I could cheat on that law, but probably get away with it for years, right? Some fucking dumb cunt flap pulls out in front of me and I kill her. They're going to get me on my logbook. Even though it's her fault, they're going to say, like they did with my one friend, if he hadn't cheated 2 days before that, he wasn't cheating that day or the day before that when he got into that fatal accident. It was 3 days before that. And the prosecuting attorney said if he hadn't cheated 2 days before that, he wouldn't have been in that place at that time, and that would have never happened. If you've ever dealt with the court system and plea bargains and all that fucking horse crap, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, stay the fuck out of the legal system, man. I'm telling you, man, they will fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. Dude, you could be innocent sitting in jail for months, right? Year. Just waiting for a trial, bro. And then go to trial and they could go, oh, it wasn't his fault. And then, boom, you just sat in prison for a year. Waiting. Welcome to the United States. Guilty until proven innocent. I know all about it, man. I wouldn't want to be reborn into this world again. I'm glad it's almost over. But I'd say this one's long enough. What do you think? Full hour? Is that enough for you there, Holland Donkey? If you watched all the way through? He likes the long videos. Because he's a trucker and he turns them on while he's driving and it burns up time. I know how it goes. I do that too. Even though I'm not very interesting and I watch people who aren't very interesting, I ain't got nothing else to do. Watch 48 Hours again and see someone else murder someone else. Getting kind of tired of that murder shit. Getting pretty boring, you know. So, shout out to Rick. If you're still watching, Rick, I appreciate you, man. Good talking to you. I hope everything gets smoothed out for you. And it'll be alright, man. Everything will pan out. You know. Life can be a fucker, man. I mean, even if your job's going good, then maybe your mother's sick or your kid's got something wrong with them or something. Everybody has it. I don't give a fuck if you're rich, poor, black, white. Everybody's got it, man. One way or another, we all got something fucked up. You can look at people and go, oh, this person's got a good life. Look at them, they're perfect. Yeah, behind the scenes, they might have some nasty shit going down, you know? It's just how it is, man. It does suck. So, I appreciate you watching. I'm not even going to edit this fucker down. So, if you watched it all the way through, you are loyal. Hit me up in the comments. And then, watch those next 2 videos I got coming on if you're interested in them. I'll keep them a little short, and I like to get these transition videos like this out of the way so I can get back to like fucking around and making fun of Swift and, you know, just my regular shit that I do. And I apologize for disappearing there, but I tried to make some videos, man, and I would just come on here and I was like, man, fuck life, fuck the trucking industry, fuck everything. And then I'd watch the video and I was like, that's fucking depressive, dude. Like, you're just a depressive cunt. That's not what people need. You know, people are already got their own problems. And fucking me on here telling you how bad it is out here. I mean, I keep it real. You know, I try to be honest with what I'm dealing with. I don't know. I mean, even on the rates video, that's just what I was getting. They're pretty comparable, but I will catch you guys on the next ones. Got me looking like a bad, bad girl. I should go.